Welcome back to my channel Teachnology. Today we are going to learn about trade. So let's begin by understanding the meaning of trade with the help of an example. Here in the slide you can see that a lady goes to the market and purchases fruits and vegetables. When she is done buying her goods and services, she can make payment either in cash or through card. This buying and selling of goods and services is called trade. Now let's understand the concept of trade in detail. Why does trade take place? It is because of the wants we humans want to satisfy. And as we know that we have unlimited wants, we try to satisfy one want and there are plenty others in the queue. Let me just tell you the product you want to buy, how does it reach to you? Consider a farmer who produces wheat and rice in his fields. After production, the problem is how will he distribute it to you or to the people who wants it. So he opted for various options, like he contacted the transport lines to distribute it to the godowns, and then the godowns will distribute it to the retailers, and eventually it will reach to you through the retailer, and now you are consuming it. Trade takes place between two different people, two different countries, states, cities, and so on. This is done so that the goods are available throughout the nation. For example, grapes are produced in Nasik, but they are still available in Mumbai. Earlier, trade used to be between people with respect to goods only. Means goods were exchanged for goods, which was called barter system. People used to exchange goods. For example, 1 kg of rice exchanged with 2 kgs of bajra. But later on, it involved money. So here there is a transformation of trade. Now we are going to talk about the types of trade. We have visible and invisible trade. In the first picture, you can see a lady who is buying a tetra pack of a juice. She will definitely have to make the payment, so the buying and selling of goods is called visible trade. In the other picture, we can see a doctor treating the patient, for which he will have to charge money for the services rendered by him. This is called invisible trade, where there is an exchange of service with money. Let's move on to the other type of trade, which is based on the quantity of goods. It includes wholesale trade and retail trade. Wholesale trade is something where the goods are purchased in bulk or in large quantities. Here, the wholesaler is the one who purchases goods in bulk and sells it to the different retailers, and then these retailers sell it to the customers directly. For example, stationery shop, which includes so many items, that is books, pens, sketch pens, colors, and so on. It is purchased by the wholesaler in large quantities. He then sells it to a retailer, and the retailer sells it to you, and when you go to the shop, you buy either one of a book or a pen. Then we have retail trade. When goods are sold in small quantities, it is called retail trade. Here, the retailers sell the goods to the customers for personal use only, and not for resale or business purpose. For example, you go to buy a coffee mug from a shop and make use of mug after the payment is done. Now, we will discuss about the trade which is based on the extent of region. It includes domestic and international trade. Domestic trade is also called as internal trade. It is the exchange of domestic goods within the boundaries of a country, by allowing all different types of goods and services to reach all the parts of the country. It improves the standard of living as well as the employment rate in our country, and this further leads to economic growth. Next is international trade. It is the exchange of capital, goods, and services across international borders or territories. Because there is a need or want of goods or services, carrying out international trade is a little complex process than the domestic trade. When trade takes place between two or more nations, factors like currency, government policies, economy, laws, and markets influence trade. We use foreign currencies when the goods are imported or exported from both the ends. When international trade takes place between two countries, it is called bilateral trade. And when the trade takes place between countries which is more than two, it is called multilateral trade. An example of international trade is the Rafale. It is a jet which France just delivered in India, and as we know, The good relations between these two countries, Rafael was delivered on time even during this pandemic situation. International trade includes the process of imports and exports. When a country buys those goods and services which are scarce in supply in our own country is called import. This means that the goods are coming in from the other country. For example, our country India gets petrol from the other Gulf countries like Saudi Arabia, UAE and so on. It is made available for us so that we can benefit from it. And when a country produces excess of goods or services required, it sells these to other countries which have a demand for it. This is what export means. For example, Alfonso mangoes are majorly produced in India, but they are also available in many other countries so that everyone can make use of it. To sum it up, I would say that there should be more of export to make sure that there is an economic growth of our country as a whole. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel Teachnology.